Internet podcasts have historically been a myth. Iffy audio quality, and that's being generous. Someone's mouth was always out of sync, you know what I'm talking about. In fact, it looks like our example here on the left. Today, using Riverside FM, I'm going to show you how to take our poor example on the left, turn it into a high-quality 4K recording on the right, something you'd actually be proud of, something you want to put out there into the world that you want representing your brand. Without further ado, today, we're talking about Riverside FM, the ultimate online podcast tool for recording and editing. So on the screen right now is Riverside FM, your online recording studio. Let's zoom into our friends right there, and then I'm going to show you guys some examples of myself recording a podcast recently. But if we zoom in, you see one key thing that I don't want you to miss, and that's separate audio tracks. Exporting your podcast and having one audio track that combines both of the speakers is a big problem. Someone's audio quality is always a little bit better than the other ones, and you want to retain that creative control to level people out and actually have control over the separate audio tracks. I actually recorded a podcast with the young legend Sayuja Gupta recently. As you guys can see, we recorded straight inside Riverside FM. I actually didn't have any headphones on for the entirety of this podcast. All I did was tick the echo cancellation effect, and there was zero issues throughout the entire thing. I talked to Sayuja face to face, no headphones. The echo cancellation effect right inside Riverside FM is crazy powerful. So let's have a look at the AI transcription and editing. On the screen right now is one of the most impressive features in Riverside FM. This is the AI transcriptions and editing of the transcriptions. It AI generates the entire transcript of your podcast. You can then go through and edit out words, and it will delete that straight from the video. There's AI projects that their entire product is just that. Like AI transcript editing. The fact that Riverside include that as just one of a catalog of features is highly impressive. It's also very nice because you can come into the transcript, you can even search for words. You can just delete the words. Have a look right here. I searched for a swear word. We completely identified the swear word, deleted it, and just like that, it is completely removed from the script. You can delete entire sections. You can search for and delete individual words. And for podcast editing, this just makes perfect sense. You can search for key moments in the podcast. For example, I was talking to Sayuja about how my family went through the 2008 crisis. I had no clue which part of the podcast that was actually in. I simply searched for 2008 and boom, we identified it right away and we're able to hone in on that individual clip. Let's talk about the custom backgrounds and the branding. I absolutely love the Riverside editor because it's super intuitive. You come up to the top, you start messing with some of the backgrounds, and you can really get a cool look here. You can import your own if you want to, but I didn't. I actually like the presets they have. What I did do is import my logo. So you can throw some branding into this. Of course, you guys know, or a lot of you guys know, that I have a private members community, Video Production Plus, where we teach people how to level up their career and actually take their skills, turn it into a career. I was able to simply import that logo in about 1 second, throw it into the top right, and add an element of branding to my podcast with Sayuja. Now, me and Sayuja did our podcast one-on-one, but we actually had the option to open up a live stream. If you come into the Riverside dashboard, you can actually link up a variety of different social accounts. I could have live streamed to YouTube. I could have live streamed to Twitter. I'd be interested in using Riverside for a follow-up to do some kind of live session. The fact you can have this super intuitive editor, but also invite an audience in as well, to me is a very cool feature. By the way, this is what the recordings dashboard looks like. We record some content, our clips come here. We can then click them and either choose to export individual audio and video tracks, but what if we don't want to do that? What if we just want to do all the editing straight inside Riverside? All we do is we come over to the editing timeline, and what we can do is we can format this for different platforms. If I want it for, let's say, a square post, I want to just put it on my feed, we can set that up. If I want a vertical, we can set it up. If we want the entire thing, like I threw on YouTube, we can set that up as well. For repurposing content, this is absolutely epic. You don't have to spend time in Premiere changing the sizes and, doing it all manually. Literally the click of a button, you can change the layout, you can then change the background, you can repurpose the platform that it's going to be going on. Absolutely epic, super intuitive. And the fact that they combine a bunch of standout features from different software and put it into one, I think is very cool. I've bigged this up a lot, so let's have a look at the technicals, right? Say you want to get your hands on Riverside, you think that, Jack, you've hard shilled it, bro. Like, I can see it's really good. Where do I get this thing? Let's go over to the pricing real quick. So pricing wise, this is a paid tool. Now, having said that, there is a free version, but it's very limited. There is a watermark on it. They only give you 2 hours of different tracks. If you switch to yearly, the standard price is only $15 a month. However, if you're on the monthly, it's $19, which again, depending on how much you use this, could be well worth it, could not be worth it. Also, a lot of you guys are freelancers. It's very possible you'd benefit from your clients using something like this so that you can have an easier time editing their podcast afterwards. It might be something you recommend to a client as a business expense that would help you guys speed up your workflow and your production. Pricing wise, for someone who's going to genuinely get use out of this, it does not break the bank at all. In fact, for client work, I think it could be very cool. In fact, you can even record on your mobile. You can download the Riverside app and you can record your mobile conversations as well as your desktop conversations. So they're really trying to make this the one-stop shop for podcast production. I recorded, I think, 16 podcasts back in the day. It was called the Make Money Making Videos podcast. Go have a blast at listening to some of the audio tracks there. Maybe mine was peaking, maybe my guests was peaking, but by the time I'd done recording, I had no option to change it because it was in one simultaneous audio track. If I had access to Riverside FM back then, it would have been a much smoother podcast that I was running over there. With that being said, guys, check out Riverside FM down below. This video was, of course, sponsored by them. This is a product I endorse to mainly two categories. One, you're a content creator. You want to be recording high-quality podcasts yourself, potentially trainings, potentially even meetings. You can definitely get value from this software. Number two, you're a full-time freelancer and you work with podcast clients. You're used to some shady, dodgy audio qualities and video qualities coming your way. Maybe you can relate to me with my Make Money Making Videos podcast example. It's really a nightmare, to be totally honest. Those are the two main categories that I think provide exceptional value. And if you enjoyed, check Riverside FM down below. And thank you guys for tuning into the video. Peace.